So moving on to the next part then, which is adding and subtracting algebraic fractions. It's the same as you've done at GCSE really. Okay, obviously addition and subtraction signs instead of multiplying and dividing. We've got two quick examples. Let's just have a look. So the thing to remember is that you need the same denominator. That's for addition and subtraction, that rule. Not necessary for multiplication and division. Probably the easiest way of doing that is going to just be to multiply these together, which will give you x plus 1 over x plus 2. You could expand this out, but it's generally better to leave it in this form as it's easier to see what factors cancel. So the 3 is over the x plus 1, so top and bottom it's going to need to be multiplied by x plus 2. Again, this should just be a reminder of what you did at GCSE. Okay, so x plus 1, x plus 2. Careful with the subtraction sign, so subtract, and the 2, originally it had an x plus 2 underneath, so it needs to be multiplied by x plus 1, top and bottom. X plus 1, x plus 2. One thing to be careful about this, I'm not going to do the full example, but one thing to be careful, if we talk about just the numerator, so yes, you would get 3x plus 6 for expanding the first part. Okay. However, when you talk about this subtract here, you're actually going to be subtracting the answer to this. So what that means is it's going to be minus 2x. It's going to be minus 2. And this is the one that people often mess up. Okay. Let's do another example then, slightly more difficult. So if we do this question over here now, this is slightly different because when we're getting our common denominator, we're not just going to multiply like we did before. Before, we just multiplied these together. Okay. However, often that's unnecessary and will lead to lots of extra working out that you don't need to do and you don't have time for. So what do I mean? Well, 3 over x plus 1 doesn't seem to be anything you can do there. Minus 4x. Okay, so minus 4x. However, hopefully you can see that x squared minus 1, well, that's the difference of two squares, isn't it? That would actually become x plus 1, x minus 1. Sorry, that's a bit messy. So what can we see now? Well, we can see that this term x plus 1 appears already twice. It's only the x minus 1 that is appearing once. And that needs to appear in both parts. So we multiply by x minus 1, top and bottom, on the left-hand side. So 3 x minus 1. And I'm going to sort of skip a bit of a step here. I'm going to say 3 times x minus 1 over x minus 1. X plus 1, x minus 1. And then minus 4x. So what's the step that I skipped? Well, I just put these fractions together sooner. Okay, what's that going to be? 3x at the top, 3x minus 3, and then take away another 4x. So it's going to be minus x over the same denominator as before. Okay, let's do another one. In fact, actually, let's just cut the video there for a second and we'll do the next two in the next video. So just to sum up for the first part, finding common denominators by multiplying together is often the strategy to go for. Okay, careful when it's a subtraction, as you'll need to negate all parts of the second numerator, or the numerator after. However, sometimes one denominator will be a factor of another that we've seen here in this case. And when that happens, and it's easier to spot when you factorize, you can make life much easier for yourself.